Hello and welcome to my channel on Thinking Power through Innovation. This exciting installment is entitled How to Create a Worthwhile Product Innovation Plan, Viewpoint from an Early 40s Intellectual. The objective to my video is creating a useful chart that provides a coherent overview towards innovating a new product. Now let's start with a line box chart with 7 mostly empty columns and 2 mostly empty rows. Now starting with the top left hand corner of this chart, let's discuss challenge. Life is full of challenges. Notice I deliberately kept space at the bottom of the grid so that more details are added later, like adding flesh to a skeleton. Let's start the ball rolling with an example. So currently I'm thinking, how can we be unstuck? There is no rule that you need to innovate something that's a major industry disruptor ASAP, leading to analysis paralysis before getting to finished product stage. Hence, make your own prototype without thinking about it too much. The standard desk height range is normally 0.72 to 0.75 meters off the ground. My desk is nearly 0.74 meters off the ground. My height is 6'4" or 1.93 meters. I need to elevate my laptop at eye level about 1.2 meters when sat upright in my office chair. The challenge is producing an adjustable stand for laptops and tablets with a range of 0.45 to 0.5 meters in height. The other dimensions are taken care of later. So the adjacent column here, entitled Problem at Present. The height range for eye level was already stated. Why? The problem is that if you are tall, you will understand the risks of getting back pain by slouching. Just about eye level view is required for regular device use. Hence, an adjustable gadget supporting stand for laptops and tablets is the solution here. Now looking at the middle column, entitled Formidable Solution. The intended product is described as tough, easily transportable, easy to assemble and adjust. And material properties. So what properties are sought after? Strong, load-bearing, low density, robust and affordable. Start making design briefs that are not to scale, which are roughly sketched out before having scaled ones. Next important solution is the art and design, as style is essential, also known here as aesthetic. This will come later once the prototype is made. A modern contemporary design feature is fairly common. Now for this column here, called Analytical Parameters. You need to ask yourself, are the materials generally regarded as safe to start with? So, as stated right at the bottom, must not irritate skin. We may need to be aware that some manufactured polymers can irritate the skin, so touching certain polymers is very risky. I'm not going to give any further details of what type and grade can potentially be irritants, because you do not need to have a very wide polymer knowledge. Take note and understand your essential technical parameters. So height range at eye level already stated, yes. Most crucial is the structure must allow a load-bearing weight of 0.0 to 2.5 kilograms. So relatively strong materials are chosen to support this load-bearing weight. Also, a wide enough base unit resting on a level desk is essential for a stable center of gravity to stop it potentially tilting over. So this far column on the right, called Enquiries. Get in touch with manufacturers that are open to your questions. Don't just keep the conversation going on costs and financial areas. That will come a bit more later, but you equally need to understand things like process control methods, material grades, and measurement tolerances, and then match that up with the cost side. Because without important technical inquiries, the cost side will not be that powerful. Mostly your questions will be answered, but you have to keep trying, as in the beginning most manufacturers claim that they're too busy, and it's mainly their administrators who pick up most of the conversation to begin with. Majority of manufacturers will state the material grades. So the meaning of material grade is what is the material actually composed of. If it's a metal, it could be an alloy having a lot of minerals for added strength. But my advice is never go for high material grades in exploring your novel prototype. So in the beginning of your project, you don't want to be spending too much money on high material grades, when of course you still need to examine the functionality of your novel prototype leading to state of art. So in this particular project, I'll be collaborating with batch producers of aluminium and ideal polymer parts. Remember that each manufacturer is different. Some may not assist you by giving answers, so do move on to the next. Now we look in this column, slightly smaller one to the left, called Existing Alternatives. It's great news that there is a demand for laptop and tablet stands. There are actually thousands of products out there, from fixed level adjustable ones to sophisticated camera tripod stands. The camera tripod types are highly adjustable. Corporate themes are very common. Nevertheless, do not be put off if you cannot instantly come up with an idea that is more original than the rest, including favorable new design. Still gaps in market when it comes to new configurations and design. Now with the small column on the right, entitled Unfair Advantage. Ask yourself, is it around the same price or cheaper than what's on the market? Hence, we want something affordable. Of course, we don't want to create a use and throw version that only lasts a couple of months. If it's a health benefit plant formulation, then the shelf life can be, say, a couple of months to 6 months. So overall, the unfair advantage factors are quality, novelty, style, and affordability. Now we look into the bottom left-hand corner of this row. So we have existing resources, short form ER, and further resources, noted as FR. So start with ER. Quadrilled or isometric paper for scaled 2D and 3D diagrams respectively, and that can be easily drawn by hand. More of a computer-aided design approach, or CAD, and this one is free. It's an open license Blender software in which you can make most simple geometries and quite complex geometries of 3D scaled diagrams. So this can be useful for beginners. Main DIY tools for modification to your prototype when needed. So that basically is things like cutting tools, a wood saw, hacksaw for metal. Yes, wood saw can be used for soft and hard polymers depending on the size in cutting to shape, and so on and so forth, in which any further modifications as required can be done. Now for FR. So already I managed to purchase successfully at affordable cost tubular aluminium. Further materials that I'm still trying to acquire are strong polymers, brackets, steel nuts and bolts. Yes, specific materials according to your requirements can still be purchased. So stand and base support review and inquiries in progress. bracket assembly sort as previous. We need to be flexible and allow for closely similar material properties of quite expensive materials, depending on the availability too. You may not get the desired material locally, so keep that in mind. Keep trying to find a better manufacturer or supplier if costs are high, and also if your proprietor gives non-negotiable quotes. Sometimes very amusing when you find that good grade aluminium is fabricated and cut to length. Yeah, that's right, folks, only cut to length, and a quote supplied for £260 just for two. That's £130 each, including VAT, just for standard good grade aluminium. And the total length, believe it or not, is 1 meter. So that's half a meter per unit. Now in the second and last row, we have here cost structure. So in my example, this is currently a work in progress. Start with a quotation after researching your product needs, including any helpful supplier. The cost structure is for batch manufacturing, and you need to have a minimum of 3 reproductions per product. Do your best to bring the cost down as much as possible within reason. Yes, sometimes you'd find that manufacturers quote very high prices for small batch scale orders. Move on to a suitable batch scale manufacturer that provides much more and more affordable costs. So yes, it is not easy to find a batch scale manufacturer if you live in a big city. Living in London has posed huge challenges in finding suitable manufacturers to make my product within a week. So the important message here, keep it simple, but carry on shopping around. I do hope you enjoyed my video. I'll be very grateful for any feedback or comments you have. Do like, comment, subscribe and share.